Welcome back. We are back in Dallas, Plano, one of the two, not Kansas City.
We think.
We're here. We are back. We are back in our surroundings that we're used to. I said we are back 9 times. It just feels good to be back, Pat. Weather's beautiful here.
Yeah, it's been great. Very, very much not Michigan or Ohio.
No, that's why we're happy to be here. Back from Kansas City, well rested. I know we took some solid naps the past few days. We worked hard last week.
We did.
A lot of basketball. It was good to be back. Good to be back in the arena. They didn't let us on the court. But that's fine. They didn't want me on the court. If I was on the court, then Cade Cunningham wouldn't have been the best player on the court. So
strongly disagree with that, but sure. First games filming for me since Michigan basketball. I know you shot
you could
a couple
tell.
games. Yeah, I was rusty.
Yeah.
Also using that big lens, man, that was heavy. Like I got to hit the gym because that is a lens.
LENS.
So that was my workout for the week. Got to lift your, what is that, 200 to?
The old 2 to 6.
Wow.
We don't need to get too nerdy on them, but.
Well, everyone knows what that means, so we'll move on.
It'll do the job. It will do the job.
Our let's do a quick trip recap. Well, also we should say we got Morgan Uber on this episode.
She'll be on in a little bit.
Got to talk some Big 12 with her. She was hustling all week for the Big 12 men's and women's basketball championships. So
doubling down.
Got to talk to her, learn some interview tips.
Whoa, we didn't even mention the Horns won,
yeah,
baby.
They won.
First Big 12 tournament championship of all time. I loved it.
You got the merch, clearly.
I got the merch. They gave it to me. Coleman right off his back. He said, "You deserve this." I said,
I don't remember that. But
I said, "You should keep it, man. You should keep it." And he's trying to give me the net and everything. I was like, "Bruh, you're gonna regret this."
That's your interpretation of the events, then.
Or I bought it for $35 in the concourse.
Very much more likely that, but yes.
We don't need to get into that.
Well, they're still eligible fans, I'd say, based on their comments and sharing some pictures.
We had some comments. We had some pictures. A couple people DM us.
Yeah.
Shot it over.
Asking,
to them.
You thought you were done with the photo requests from Ohio State. It's
honestly
just never ending.
You kind of miss it. It kind of feels good. It kind of feels like you did something right.
No, it was cool. They were.
My guy Kai Jones hit me up.
Yeah.
Kai 5.
You got a lot of new friends now. A lot of new fans.
It's like fake friends, but I mean, I'll be friends with them. I don't know if they want to be friends with me.
Yeah. Not non-basketball wise, we were roommates again. Our hotel room never got clean the entire week.
That was frustrating.
We requested it 3 times.
3 times.
Nothing. So we powered through.
I mean, my half of the room was pretty clean.
Yeah. Sorry,
I was walking through Red Bull Central when I was going to the bathroom.
Yeah. I was propped up by caffeine this week, so we
can confirm
we made it through. A lot of good food as well.
Oh my Lord. Q39. We'll talk about this with our Morgan interview, but I literally ate myself into coma.
Yeah, that was you felt pressure. I mean, yeah, we'll get to it later.
I mean, those plates were just massive.
They were massive.
Meat after meat. I had the meat sweats. Meat sweats are a real thing.
I think I still got them.
Yeah, I think you do too.
I think I do. I just have persistent meat sweats after that trip. So.
Q39, legit barbecue. We didn't get to eat as much barbecue as we wanted. We were busy people covering the tournament, a lot of different games. Q39 did the job. We hit that between, what was the first game? I don't even remember the first game, but then we went to the Oklahoma game afterwards. Nice little warm-up, first round of the tournament. First day of the tournament, basketball rather, that is. Burn ends. Burn ends for me.
Yeah.
Sandra,
I didn't get to
what
try
was
'em.
yours? You burn ends?
Yeah.
I thought you were something else.
Either that or the short rib
Short
appetizer.
rib
that
appetizer.
Oh my God.
Apple slaw. Wasn't it?
Oh
apple slaw?
yeah, it was on the apple
Yeah, it was
slaw.
on the apple slaw.
But it was coleslaw. There's not really apples in. Can you describe the people?
I think there were like shaved like parts of the apples in there. It was
which part?
The core.
How many parts to the apple are there? It's like the core, not the core.
You
maybe
have
the stem,
like the peel, like the rind.
Well, the rind peel.
Yeah, core.
This is why people listen to Still Eligible.
Juice. Could have been like apple juice. Could have been an apple cider vinegar.
I had a few apple juices on our trip.
You did. And you got I won't call it a club sandwich because I know what you're asking.
It wasn't a club sandwich.
A club-type sandwich on raisin bread and an applesauce.
It was the last day. We were about to come home. I was at a low point in my life. I hadn't slept. I had to live with Pat for a week. I had to work with Pat for a week. And the raisin bread, the lady's like, what kind of bread do you want it on? White, wheat, rye, or raisin? And I was like, I don't know. Raisin. Let's just get weird. I got to fly back to Dallas, and let's keep it funky.
I knew you were a wild card before, but that confirmed it.
I don't even know if I like raisins.
You just heard it, and you were like, "Let's do it." So that was. I think that was the mental state we were all in at the end of the trip.
It was just like, whatever I don't want, give me 2 of those.
Yes, exactly.
A side salad with it. You guys went breakfast at, it was like Egg TC or something. Mm-hmm. Good spot.
Yeah, it was a good
Sandra
spot.
was in charge of all the picking places, and you did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
How about Melinda's or whatever it was called? What was that breakfast place?
It wasn't Melinda's. It was it Mildred's?
Mildred's. It was Mildred's. Excellent place.
That was fantastic.
And
smoothies, sandwiches, coffee,
everything.
The whole 9 yards.
Very good.
Obviously chicken and pickle.
I don't know how many minutes we're into this podcast, but people are like, all right, we get it. You ate. Talk about the basketball.
Is this a food podcast? A sports podcast?
Very well, could be.
I had it my way.
Yeah. There you go. Chicken pickle, awesome.
Elite wings.
We plugged it.
Elite chicken.
We plugged it last episode. We recorded the podcast there, played some pickleball. Check out the video.
If you're ever in a city with chicken and pickle, you're doing yourself a disservice by not stopping, getting yourself a chicken sandwich, maybe a boulevard wheat if you're into it. The Brussels sprouts were phenomenal. I tried those. I don't know if you're into those. And some wings and pickleball.
Everything I had.
I might recommend doing the pickleball and then having the beer and the chicken and the wings.
Yeah.
But hey, each their own.
Yeah. Got to watch a little bit of the Michigan-Ohio State game. We don't need to talk about that.
We can talk about it.
We don't need
funny
to.
You brought that up. Michigan. I said it. Well, that's unfortunate. It doesn't matter. They lost regardless. Lost by 1. Pat made it till halftime before he had to go back to the room and cry himself to sleep. But
not what happened, but yeah.
I don't know.
Sad to get away from you, but yeah.
I wasn't even chirping that hard.
Yeah, it's more just being around you for a week. Need my space.
I hear you. So, yeah, Bucks win. Tough loss to Illinois. We watched that on the plane ride home.
Super ideal way to watch it with the person. I was watching it over your shoulder, and a guy kept getting up and, like, getting his bag. Like, with a minute left, he was, like, trying to deboard the plane, and it was just like, dude. Like, and he would look back at me, and he knew I was watching it over. Yeah. So that was super fun.
Some would say you had a better view.
Bird's eye view.
That was a joke. Yeah, that was a rough ending. We were like literally getting off the plane as the game was ending. Mm-hmm. My headphones died. I had to switch to I had to go from.
I saw all the Twitter notifications, and you had to keep swiping.
Yeah, well, it's like I was getting all the notifications. I don't know. I'm a Twitter guy. We've been over this.
Yeah. So
there we go.
That
was heat.
Yeah, that was basically the trip. So we had a great time. Got to be Big 12 guys for a week.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Every second of it.
Super fun. So I think we should do some appreciate yous.
Keep it rolling.
This is a segment where we used your catchphrase. Pick a few people, topics who did some cool stuff. Let them know we appreciate them.
That's what we do.
We also have Morgan's appreciate you coming up later in the podcast. So
yeah,
let's get excited for that. But I'll let you go first.
Yeah, well, I think I butchered this later in the podcast because I said I wasn't going to do this, but I'm doing it anyway. So here we go. My appreciate you goes out to the Texas Longhorns men's basketball team. I don't know if you know this about me. I'm a Texas guy. I'm not actually a Texas guy, but I'm a Texas fan, low key. Buckeye till I die. But I always had this weird fascination, if you will, with the Longhorns, both football and basketball. PJ Tucker, Kevin Durant before he was a snake, Tristan Thompson, Boobie Gibson, and LaMarcus Aldridge. I mean, that's just to name a few, but it was cool. I liked being a part of it. It was awesome to be back in the arena of basketball, Cade Cunningham, the whole 9 yards. But we're not talking about Cade. We're talking about Texas. And I loved every second of it. They were balling. It helped that they had that day off and they didn't have to play Kansas. Fresh legs, if you will.
You got to nap a little bit, so that was nice.
We did get to nap.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just I like their team as a whole. Matt Coleman was filthy.
Yes.
The whole tournament. He was balling. Andrew Jones balled out. Jericho Sims, I think he really showed out there at the end. Championship game. He's grabbing boards like nobody's business.
So many boards.
Some putback dunks. Hustling up and down the floor. It's really all you want in a big man. Just show me a little bit of hustle. He's got the Anderson Varejao type hair. Not as crazy, but you could tell a few more years. Yeah, there's
something
there.
He might get there. Yeah.
Speaking of hair, Shaka Smart back with the hair.
Yep.
Kind of freaky to look at in person, but it's there nonetheless. I don't know if it's real, but it's there.
Shaka was hype after the win.
He was hype. I was hype for him. I'm a Texas guy. We've been over this. And Kai Jones from the Bahamas, 6'11". He's basically my spirit animal. I'm older than him, but you could tell like when I played basketball, not being 6'11", but I hustled up and down the floor. I was the energy guy.
Were you the sixth man? Were you the sixth man when you played
I
basketball?
wasn't 1 through 5, so I was closer to sixth than the first 5.
Makes sense.
Yeah. No, so Kai Jones, if you're listening to this, he shared my Instagram story yesterday, so that's cool. I told him I got some video coming for him. Heat dropping tomorrow. If we drop this Thursday, well, it's currently Wednesday when we're recording this. Saunders looking at me like I'm an idiot.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying it would be, Friday. It'll drop Friday.
Yeah. Well, no one knows. Everyone's gonna listen to this on Thursday.
They might listen to it later.
Mm-hmm.
How?
They might not
You guys
listen to it on
leaking?
Thursday.
They might listen to Saturday. But
Well, if you're not listening to this the day of, what are you doing?
I mean, they don't expire the day of. They're there forever.
Wait, you're telling me these things are here forever? So that being said, the Texas men's basketball team, first-time Big 12 tournament champions, and my guy Kai Jones from the Bahamas. Appreciate you.
They love you.
I love them.
Yeah.
Smart.
My
your hair.
appreciate you. Somewhat related. Press box snacks.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like they kept me and all of us alive because our meal schedule was quite irregular. And I think from our previous jobs too, like you kind of learn early on that it's not always sitting down for a full square meal when you're working these games, especially a tournament with Thursday I had 4 games, and that was just crazy. So
that was a long day. We got there like what, 7?
Mm-hmm.
7:30? I don't know. Early.
Left late.
We left there at 1.
Yeah, it was a long day.
It was a long day.
We took like a little hour lunch break, if you will. We didn't even eat lunch during the lunch break.
I don't remember that day at all.
I don't either. It's a
Did
blur.
that day actually happen?
It didn't happen.
A lot of
got pictures to prove it happened.
A lot of standout snacks. My MVPs, I'll go liquid and solid.
Yeah.
Liquid.
Which one are you going first?
I'll go liquid first. Diet Dr. Pepper's got some caffeine in it. Had a couple of those to supplement the Red Bulls in the morning.
I think I was more of a. I think I was on the cherry Dr. Pepper.
Okay. And the trail mix, kind of with the M&Ms, that really kept me going. So.
I'm a trail mix guy. Always have been. Always. Actually, I have trail mix over there in the plastic bag. It's a good one.
It is.
I'm not going to plug the name because I'll just hand out trail mix sponsorships. I'm open to all kinds of trail mix.
So, just for
blaze your own trail
for getting us through the week. Press box snacks. Appreciate you.
Beautiful. Well executed.
That's a great one.
Thank you.
You said that, and I was like, "That's true. They were the real MVP."
Mm-hmm.
Matt
what was
Coleman
your favorite?
was.
Well, yeah, Matt Coleman. What was your favorite snack? We're just talking about
My
food this
favorite
podcast.
snack. This is my favorite. This has been my favorite episode. My favorite snack, popcorn. We were smelling it on the way in, and we didn't
get any popcorn.
We didn't get any.
We never got it. We just
kind
got
that
the smells.
No, so I had to substitute it with the popcorn they had at
the black and yellow bag popcorn.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what we're talking
Everybody
about.
knows those.
I just the bag, you don't know the name.
Yeah. It wasn't exactly what I wanted, but it was enough to, make me get excited.
It'll get you through the day.
Yeah.
It's like the popcorn your grandma's got in the pantry.
Exactly.
Sure. Yeah, it's real.
It is real. So yeah, that was probably that was my favorite snack.
How about that pasta they made us? Oh my Lord. Sonder quote was like, they took al dente and then blew it past another 15 minutes. I was like, this is like a pasta you eat at like your kid's like soccer trophy awards ceremony. It's like everyone can eat this. Nobody will choke because it'll literally just slide down your throat.
I'm just glad they were snacks. So again, press box snacks, appreciate you.
I'm on one today.
You are.
Sandra, do you have appreciate you this week?
I do have appreciate you. Mine goes out to the ushers who were working.
They were working.
I think one of the underrated, unspoken things is the relationship that you can form with those people. Like, and they can help you later, like, you know, say, hey, yeah, you can go a little bit farther down into the stands. Like, maybe your credentials don't quite take you there. But Mike and Jackie, specifically this weekend, were awesome.
Mike's an OG.
Mike, who loved Jack's shoes. He loved his LeBrons.
Yes.
So he knew Jack is the LeBron guy, which is sweet.
Yeah.
I know Jack appreciated that.
Shout out Akron.
Yeah, so sometimes, I mean, you go to take these photos and you're just kind of trying to figure out the access.
Yeah.
And then you're kind of those people. I think a lot of those people, too, they don't really get talked to a lot during the game. People are there to watch the game. And these people are some of the greatest people. So, you know.
Ushers are people, too.
Ushers are people, too. And Mike and Jackie, I mean, they're great. They're amazing. So, Mike and Jackie, appreciate you.
When I saw Usher on the name tag, I did a double take. I was like, you're not actually Usher. Nice try, Mike. You're not going to fool me. No, that's good.
He was cool, though.
I got reamed at once or twice because I know this is real, and we talked about this, is knowing where to go, when to go there.
Yeah.
Semifinals was not my best game from the standpoint of the Ushers did not enjoy me. I got yelled at by the same guy like over 5 times, maybe 10 times. And I just kept going, like, because I was like, I don't know, we're trying to figure out where we can go. You obviously pushed the boundaries. And I was just sitting in one of the first 3 rows, and he just came up and was like, you can't be here. You cannot be here. It's roped off for a reason. I had my headphones in. I don't know. I don't really do that. I told you I don't do that often, but I was like kind of jamming and just like in my zone taking photos, a little FOMO, if you will. And I like took one out, and I was like, what? And he's like, you cannot be. And I took out the other one. I was like, what? And then he's like, you cannot be here. And I was like, I've been here all tournament. What do you mean I can't be here? He's like, you cannot be here. So I got up and just went to the same spot on the other side, and then I was good to go. But then I kept coming back and forth. That happened. This guy was so pissed at me by the end of the game.
I told Jack that it's not the best idea. Like, it was an interesting strategy to go for like the
what?
I can't hear you, because if you know, but the third time you repeat yourself, you're
That guy
usually not
hates
as
you.
happy as when you first said it. So interesting strategy for you to,
Well,
make him repeat himself 3 times.
I don't know.
It's all right.
I appreciate them, but sometimes, it's a little bit above your pay grade.
He wasn't Mike.
Well, that's
Mike
the next day. I went to the other side of the court for the championship game. Was front row the whole time. I was chilling.
Yeah.
I was right by the Oklahoma governor.
Is he still eligible for him?
He was.
Okay.
He was.
Any more appreciate yous?
I got one more.
Okay.
And we can tag team this if you want.
Sure.
I talked about getting the shot. Talked about ushers and knowing where to go and when to get there. I don't know if you saw this on Twitter. Nathan DeSuter from St. Bonaventure, videographer, got like
strangled.
choked out.
He got strangled
by the Dayton security guard. Yeah. Which, first of all, I need to look at the picture again. But from what I recall, the dude wasn't even wearing a mask, and he was choking him out, which is just classy to begin with.
Well, I think I read that the security guard thought that he like ran onto the court, which would make sense especially with COVID, like you don't want people jumping from the stands onto the court, but the guy had like a credential
and a FS7.
Yeah, it's not like you're just
more important.
You're not just sitting in the stands.
Just sneak a big ass camera in there.
So that was wild. I mean, I feel like
well, that's getting yelled at to the next level.
Sure. And that
was getting yelled at, and there's getting choked out on.
Yeah, you don't want that. I don't think Mike the usher was going to choke you out during the
he was
tournament.
getting close. He was getting close. They were not happy with me.
Oh, all right. Well,
that being said, I was in the right and they were in the wrong.
Sure. But yeah, Nathan.
I'm here to do a job too, Mike.
Nathan still got. I watched the video they put out. Like, he still got footage when he was like running around and dodging the guy that like ended up in the final video.
That's why you're shooting 120.
Yeah.
I think I love that you can see in the photo, the players are like pointing,
Oh, yeah.
like what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our guy.
Yeah, which I think is so cool because it always speaks to the relationship between the players and the creatives. Like it's close. These people.
We saw it with all the Big 12 teams, like the creative video people, all the creative people were like talking to the players and like ingrained with the team, and so to see that was really cool because sometimes, you want people to feel like they're part of the team when they're putting in those hours and they're working that hard. So it was even that one reaction picture where they're all just staring at them. It was like, I'm glad they're noticing the fact that this is happening and not just celebrating. So
like the Sauce Man said last week, videographers are people too.
They are. All right, well,
good dude.
Why don't we take a break? After that, we're going to be talking to Morgan Uber. She's the Big 12 Conference digital correspondent. We worked with her during the tournament. She's great. Great conversation. Taught us some things. Let's get right into it.
We're very happy to have on today Morgan Uber from the Big 12 Conference. We met Morgan last week. Morgan, follow her on Instagram at Morgan Uber, on Twitter at Morgan_Uber. Like her on Facebook. Morgan is a digital correspondent, on-camera talent, produces digital content, and helps build the Big 12 brand. Morgan does it all. Beforehand, she was with the Patriot League, covered the Royals, which is pretty sweet during their World Series run, and is a Mizzou grad. I know a few Mizzou grads. Good people overall. We're happy to have you on, Morgan.
Jack and Pat, thanks so much. Jack, appreciate the introduction. Yeah, I wish I could have hung out with you guys a little bit more in KC, but bubble restrictions, unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess, with the fact we got a Big 12 tournament and now on to the best time of the year, March Madness.
It is the best time of the year. We were happy to be there. It was our first time in Kansas City.
Yeah.
You had us busy.
Barbecue. We spent a lot of time eating barbecue.
Oh, did you guys get to Q39?
We did.
That's where we went.
That's my spot. I was so disappointed I never made it this trip, but I'm glad you guys got to enjoy it at least.
We went there and, oh my God, I think we had like 7 different meats. I was just like, at the end of it, I was a robot, just like, I need to continue eating, but I should have stopped eating well before that.
Yeah, we told you to stop, and he tried to power through. So
that's the way to do it. I'm glad you guys had some barbecue then for me, it sounds like.
So you were busy last week. We were busy last week. I think you might have been a little bit busier than us. I know you were covering both the men's and the women's games, running back and forth. A lot of games. I worked the MAC championship a few years ago, and it was a nice little, I guess, I knew what I was kind of getting into this week. We did a few different things than I did back then, but talk us about last week for you. I mean, you were all over the place and probably didn't sleep much.
Really it was great, though, the fact we got in 17 of our 18 games. So T-Mobile, where all the men played, was, just less than a quarter of a mile from Municipal Auditorium. So it was pretty nice to be able to pop back and forth and, hop in on all the action. But for this year, my role was a lot different just because of COVID and restrictions that we had. I actually ran all of our Big 12 social media accounts. This is something that I took over actually on July 1st, and kind of a new thing to me. I know you guys with the Social Plus program, have really got your feet wet in that, but this has been just, being the voice of a big time brand like the Big 12. It was a whole lot of fun, and, just tried to put out some good content for our fans. Behind the scenes access. You guys, did a tremendous job with your previews every day. Enjoyed putting those out.
We tried.
Hey, I know that day where there's 4 games in a day. I did a preview show last year, and it was, we taped them the night before. So we were going to bed at like 3, 4 in the morning. So I think you guys had the right strategy. Filming, getting up in the morning, I don't know.
We changed it. We changed it at the end. The last one we did the night before. So I think we were trying to figure it out as we go. But it was
caffeine heavy.
Very caffeine heavy.
Such long days, but I think after what we went through last year, it just made us take every game. Nothing's taken for granted, and just really had a blast. And Texas ends up finishing on top. Jack repping the Longhorns, and
there we go.
They're just a veteran team. Really happy for those guys, and excited to see what they can do in March. So that's a little bit of what my week looked like. I've caught up on sleep though the last 2 nights for sure. Back in my own bed, it's never felt better.
Yeah, it's been very nice to sleep in our own bed. We were roommates.
Yeah, that's not the best part is not sharing a room with Pat anymore. To be honest.
Man.
We're not roommates in Dallas, just on trips, so that's great. So speaking of that sponsored content, first of all, we want to thank you because you were the one approving the posts. So thank you for approving all 5 of them. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
You guys crushed it.
I think it's a good lead-in, though, to just talking about your style, because obviously it's a very different style than what we kind of do. So can you talk about that a little bit, and then who you try to emulate?
We're very professional.
Yes,
you're not so much.
No, you guys have a lot of fun. Sports are entertainment. Sports are fun, right? And you guys do a great job of that. And I think all of us, all creators in our space, kind of have our own niche. For me, it's been more of the Tom Rinaldi-esque style. So I spent 3.5 years at the Patriot League, which, Pat, I know you're pretty familiar with.
Very familiar,
and
yes.
So in that role, I got to do some really awesome features that actually aired on CBS Sports Network during our men's basketball games and men's lacrosse games. So, national TV, pretty cool. But those features were definitely a lot more serious. And a lot of those times it was just, gaining really good relationships with the sports information directors who are the PR people on campus. And some of the stories that I got to do, like, you don't get to do those in your first 6 months at a place. You have to build those relationships. So really by the end of it, my 3rd year there, I was rolling and really got to tell some outstanding stories. And, COVID hit 3 months after I got here at the Big 12. So unfortunately, I haven't really gotten to get on the road much here, but, looking forward to doing those more in the future, and have been able to do a few over Zoom. But as you guys know, it's not the same being able to really sit down, bring out the personalities of the student athletes. So yeah, that's Tom Rinaldi's my guy. That's who I've looked up to my whole career.
You got to. He's the best at what he does. Right?
The GOAT, truly.
Speaking of hitting the road, we love traveling. That's part of our deal. Travel podcast, travel show podcast. I thought of a good hashtag for you when you're on the road. I think it should just be Uber everywhere. I'm sure you've heard that.
I love it. No, I love it. That's a good one. Yeah. I mean, it's a song, I think, right, too?
It is.
Yeah. My cousin played that at her wedding. That was the first time I ever heard it with the last name Uber. So, no, I might have to steal that from you, Jack.
Well, you can have it.
I'll give you. Yeah, I'll give you the credit.
I don't need that. You got it. Mine's Hit the Road, Jack.
Oh,
so
that's good.
There's that.
That works
Very
well
good.
with the travel show.
It does.
Aspect, yeah.
For sure.
So one of your first interviews with the Big 12, and it might have been the first. I think it is actually, was with Jalen Hurts. I don't know if you know this, but Jalen and I have a history as well. After the Red River rivalry a few years ago, I was on the field doing some content, and he asked me to take a selfie with him. So I don't know who do you think he remembers more, like me or you? I mean,
it has to be probably you. He didn't come up to me and approach me. I had to chase him down to get that interview, right? It's like, so of course, Holly Rowe, queen of Big 12, ESPN, she got the first interview following the Big 12 championship game. And then they said, okay, Morgan, you're next up. Like, we're literally blocking off all this media for you. This was my 3rd day on the job of the Big 12, right? So had just moved back to Dallas. I'm from here originally. Had just moved home. And so that game, they're like, all right, you're going to interview like whoever has the most outstanding game and head coach. I'm like, got it. I've done this, a time or two at the Patriot League. I can do this. Yeah. Okay, no, I was a little starstruck. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. But Jalen Hurts, he did put his arm around me. So I'm like, okay, did we just become best friends?
Yeah, I saw that. That's better than I got.
Yeah, it was a good time. I had a good interview with him. And, now he's playing for, my arch rival. I'm a big Cowboys fan, but have some Eagles friends since I lived up in the Northeast. So happy for them, happy for him. But, yeah, I will say that was my first time I think I was truly ever, like, starstruck in an interview. So where's that selfie? Where does that...
I'll send it to you.
He posted about every couple of weeks.
Yeah, you just got
so
okay.
Just
keep an eye out.
I need proof. Yeah, I need proof of this.
I might have bent the story there a little bit, but we have a picture together nonetheless.
So something crazy that happened during the tournament, obviously the Kansas game getting canceled. I know kind of we're interested, like, from the inside, how that was in terms of the news breaking and, like, releasing that post. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, believe it or not, like, I found out probably when most of you guys did, if you were on Twitter following some of the national beat writers that broke it. And that was actually when most of our office had found out. So it was kind of like, oh, okay, like we got to get something out. Well, first of all, let's confirm this, and we got to get out a release. And so, to be honest, it was what I heard too was the Kansas SID found out through Twitter. So it's like, I mean, can you imagine? Like, who knows, when some of these players found out, I hadn't been able to talk to any of them or their SID, since everything, but it was one of those moments that like brought you back to last year. You're like, oh, here we go again. And it was kind of that eerie feeling. But I pushed the release. I think the Big 12 media post came out actually, or the email came out before my post even got out. So, I mean, it was just like, all right, hopefully, it was heartbreaking, especially for Kansas since they had made it through the entire season without any COVID issues. I mean, they got to schedule UTEP, their last game of the regular season, just to get a game in since they didn't have to make up any conference games. So, it was heartbreaking for Kansas, but hopefully it sounds like, the guys are all in Indy except Jalen Wilson. So that's huge news, and, hoping they can make a deep run in the tournament.
Yeah, one of our guys, Connor Bash, works for Kansas, one of their video guys, and he was telling us the same thing. It stinks that they had to go through that, but they're going to push through, and hopefully they have a nice little run here in the tourney. So
yeah, you have to imagine that gives them kind of this, feeling like chip on your shoulder. We didn't get to finish out the business in KC, which is basically like their backyard. Yeah. Kansas fans were still at the championship game, as you guys saw. It's like they come out, they're everywhere. So yeah, I'm thinking those guys have some unfinished business. So we'll see how deep of a run they can make here in March. Absolutely.
That Texas-Kansas game would have been sweet, but we'll just rep the Longhorn gear for now. So
yes.
I DM'd you that picture, but you don't have to check it out if you don't want to.
Okay. I'll check it once we hop off.
So one question I have is I'm a big baseball guy, and I know you spent some time in Kansas City before with the Royals, and you covered them from their World Series year and their season that year. So what was that like, and what were you doing there? I mean, how awesome was it to be a part of that? I was at Ohio State when they won the Big Ten tournament, which was awesome, but that's obviously a little bit different from the World Series. So, tell me about that.
Yeah, no, it was an opportunity that I'm so grateful for, and it was pretty crazy. I actually was still in college when I had the job. So I was commuting. Columbia, Missouri is in the middle of the state, and Kansas City's 2 hours away. So I only worked home games. So I was technically a part-time employee. So I didn't get the ring, unfortunately. They don't give part-time employees rings. So kind of still a little bitter about that one. But no, it was a blast. I mean, being there and being a part of that run, again, it goes back to just building the relationships with the PR department there. I was a 23-year-old girl, in the clubhouse, and I was the first female that was regularly in their clubhouse. So they would have local media come out occasionally, especially that year, right? I mean, they were so good, and the year before they made it to the World Series as well. But I was the first woman to regularly be there. So I think it was a little bit of a shock. But I think once they realized, I'm just here to do my job. I'm here like all these other guys, and I'm here to do my job and report what's going on. And it was actually a job that at the beginning of the season, they just said, okay, you're going to collect sound in the clubhouse. What does that mean to you guys? I didn't know. I was clueless. And so I was like, I'm going to put in for this. The Royals, that's fun. And so by the end of the season, I was doing post-game hits outside of the clubhouse, in the dugout, reporting from kind of what I was seeing in the clubhouse. And obviously, got to do the whole parade and be a part of that in Kansas City. And that's a unique sports town. You guys got to experience a little bit of a taste of it. But, I mean, they really rally around their teams, their pro teams, as we've all seen with the Chiefs. And so it's a special place, and will always have a special place in my heart. But, yeah, we had a blast, and definitely a memorable 2015, and they did let me take off for my graduation, which I'm still very grateful for. Got to walk in too.
No ring, but they let you do that. So
I would say you should get a ring if you're commuting 81 games, right?
Right.
2 hours,
I know.
4 hours round trip. Is that what you said?
So I moved out there in May, right after I graduated. I had an apartment and moved. So it was really just 2 months of commuting back and forth, 2 hours. So yeah, getting home at 2, 3 a.m., which is a college student, that's nothing out of the ordinary. But you kind of miss out on all the fun end of the year parties, but it was so worth it. It was so worth it for me and this career, and has introduced me to a lot of people that I still keep in touch with.
So something I keep hearing you say, and I want you to kind of talk more about it, is building trust. That's obviously super important how you've gotten to this point in your career. I know in all of our previous jobs, like you mentioned working with SIDs, working with the teams, like that was a big part. I know for Jack with Ohio State baseball, me with Michigan lacrosse, we got really ingrained in those programs. Do you have any tips? Because we're trying to get some athletes and coaches on the podcast, like in terms of getting people to feel comfortable around you. I know sometimes it's just getting around them a lot, but do you have any tips in terms of building that trust?
Yeah, to be honest, like part of it is just, there's two things I think. Like it's time, right? It's them seeing, what you do, what your brand is, who y'all are. This goes for anyone out there. I think it's, establishing yourself and your voice, and them, seeing that and that gaining traction. And so I really think it just, at the end of the day, it takes a little bit of patience and a little bit of time. And obviously, just being really prepared when you do get that opportunity, because when you get a big shot with, whoever it might be that you get on here, they'll be like, oh, those guys were awesome. Like now I'll be able to go and tell, all my friends are, in the industry and student athletes and coaches, like these two guys were awesome. You should go join their podcast. So I think, a lot of it is just, building that trust, and you can't rush it. I do think it's a little bit of a process, but at the end of the day, it's, just being prepared and, building your brand and having a solid voice out there.
There you go. You don't have to lie about it. If you don't like us, you don't have to go and say that, but we appreciate it nonetheless.
No, how can I? You're repping Texas, so you're repping our Big 12 champ. How can I not?
I would never wear whatever Pat.
It was worth you buying the shirt and hat just for that alone.
No, they gave it to me. They said I was a part of the team. Yes, they just threw it to me. Coleman said, "I was the MVP, but I want you to have this."
I saw y'all got a selfie with Matt, so that's step one. I mean,
that was another one where people are just asking us for selfies.
Yeah.
We
The
also
MLP.
photobombed him, so we're like in the background of like the picture.
Oh, his Instagram
Yes.
post.
We kind of kept creeping. Like I saw the camera and I was like, Jack, let's creep a little bit more into this picture just so we're in the background. So
Yeah, you guys were everywhere, all over the place. I mean, produced some really good content. They were fun photos, and I enjoyed them.
We got a nice little video coming tomorrow too. So check it out.
Can't wait. Maybe I'll give y'all a retweet from the Big 12.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
You teased it. You got to do it now, or we will.
I will. Come on.
We will. Yeah, bring it to the forefront. So, all right. Well, I have a question for you about March Madness. Obviously, like you said, it's the best time of year, the happiest time of year. You have any predictions for us? I know round one, we got a little Oklahoma-Mizzou matchup, so I don't know if that ruffles any feathers with the Big 12 Mizzou grad, or I don't know, any Big 12 takes in general. Who you got winning it all? Juwan Howard's never won a game in March, so I don't think he's going to get far, personally. I mean, from a coaching standpoint. So.
Yeah, no, I think we've got a lot of great, the best matchup out of the gate, like you mentioned, was Oklahoma, Missouri. And so my brother actually went to Oklahoma and I went to Mizzou. But, I work for the Big 12 Conference, so it's going to be, may both teams win. Like, I don't know. It's going to be kind of a rough game for me to sit through. But I think it's really interesting, like looking at the bracket, bless the NCAA selection committee, because we could potentially, in the Elite Eight, get a West Virginia-Oklahoma State matchup. And we saw how great that game was in Kansas City. We saw what they did. It was like the final game of the regular season. Avery Anderson went off for 31 points. Cade Cunningham didn't play in that game. So, I'm just really hoping that those teams make it to the Elite Eight. I haven't filled out my bracket yet because I was waiting to see if any teams were going to fall out. But I do know I do have Texas and Baylor from the Big 12 in my Final Four. So let's go. That's what I got.
You realize that Baylor would have to beat Ohio State to get there. I don't like
Oh,
that.
I realize that. It's happening. The Bears, I think after losing in KC, for them to lose when they did, better than losing in the championship game. I mean, head coach Scott Drew even said that himself. He's like, I'm just happy we finally get to have practice. Like, they had so many makeup games at the end of the regular season that I mean, they really weren't even able to practice as a team. It was just traveling from one game to the next and game planning for the next opponent. So I think they're happy to get a little bit of this extra time. And I think they're going to make a deep run. That's who I got winning it all. So
you can tell they're good, but you could also tell they were a little bit beat up in that tournament. That first game, they didn't look their sharpest. And then obviously the second game didn't make it to the third. We'll leave it at that. So.
Yeah, they got a little bit of a way to go defensively. I think that's where they're struggling for sure. They don't, after that COVID pause, they don't look as connected as they did earlier on in the season.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And one more thing, Cade Cunningham, I know you mentioned him, but that guy is ridiculous.
Oh, it's insane to watch him in person, like just seeing how good he is in person. I mean, everyone in the Big 12, it's a talented conference from top to bottom, but he is just so good.
He's next level.
Yeah.
He literally has the ability to take over a game at any given point, and it's what's most impressive is it usually comes like midway through the second half when his team's down, when they need him the most, and then it's like, okay, where was this all game? But it's just he kicks it into a whole nother gear, and he's left no questions in anyone's mind that he's deserving of the first pick in this NBA draft.
He is unreal.
Yeah.
Austin Reeves was balling too, and those late in the games, he just took over and said,
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
We've
team All Big 12.
We've given Cade some appreciate yous on the podcast, so.
I might have jinxed him.
Yeah,
I am like the worst at appreciate yous. I like the Punxsutawney Phil thing. He just destroyed Dallas the week after that. And then I gave appreciation to Cade Cunningham because he got recognized on senior night and is just an absolute beast. And then he rolled his ankle, and I was like, all right, I got to stop doing this stuff.
It's the eligible curse.
You're the jinx, I guess, for Cade. So no more appreciations heading into March Madness for Cade Cunningham.
And neither for the Texas squad. I love him, but I can't
just give him to Michigan, and then you'll be happy because.
Yeah, maybe I will.
Yeah. Actually, that was probably bad that I proposed. Why did I do that? I don't know.
There you go. Great idea.
I would love to see you two like watch sports together when it's Ohio State, Michigan. Like, does it get really heated between y'all, or like what?
I mean, football would probably be. We've only done basketball, like watching in person.
Okay.
We worked the Michigan and Ohio State game like our last year at our previous job, and that was interesting, just like seeing each other on the sideline. But I think football would be another level, but basketball is intense too.
I think football would be intense for sure, but it's just like it's over before it starts, so it's like it's not really that intense. You know what I'm saying? Like. Michigan can take the lead, but it's like they're still going to lose by 20, 30, 40. Who knows? It's just they're not good. Jim Harbaugh.
Well, when that game rolls around next year, if you'll have a watch party with the still eligible podcast going throughout, I expect the invite.
Yes, you'll get one for sure.
You'll get one. Hopefully we're there. It's in Ann
Arbor,
the big house next.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we lost out this year because they had COVID.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, whatever. They just didn't want to play. So, all right, Morgan, you got anything else for us? We really appreciate you having you on.
No, I was ready for my appreciate you moment, but
you want to rip appreciate you?
Yeah,
it's not as easy as it sounds, but if you got it, let's hear it.
Well, I mean, just the month of March, appreciate you, right? Like, let's go. It's the conference tournament's underway. March Madness starts tomorrow, so. It's going to be a whirlwind, and also the NCAA selection committee, everyone that, put in just a lot of time to make this season happen. Like, here we are, the end of a basketball season, and now rolling into the best sports event of the entire year. So, March, appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Nailed it. Great job.
How'd I do?
Our
first
guests
one.
are what, two for two now? I appreciate you.
2 for 2. Well, did Zach do appreciate? No, Zach
think he did.
Appreciate you.
You're keeping the streak going, so
all right.
Work.
Good deal.
Yeah. Well, I was saying, again, Morgan, thanks for coming on. Morgan, at Morgan Uber on Instagram, at Morgan_Uber on Twitter, like her on Facebook, digital correspondent for the Big 12 Conference. Follow the Big 12. They got a hell of a retweet coming tomorrow, I'll tell you that. Or Friday. I think it's Friday. I don't know. We'll let you know. Keep an eye out. It's coming.
I'll look out for that tag. Yeah.
Show some love to the Horns along the way. So, Morgan, thanks again.
Yeah, thanks, Morgan. We appreciate it.
Jack, Pat, thanks, guys, for having me.
And how about that? What an interview with Morgan Uber, huh?
Great.
Okay.
We learned some stuff.
No, she's great. She's way more professional than we are. She definitely does a different style than we do. But is great at what she does nonetheless.
Yeah, learn some stuff. We'll implement it with some future guests.
We'll try to.
No
promises.
No.
Jalen Hurts likes me better. That's all I got out of it. That's a lie. I learned a lot.
So, March Madness. It's upon us.
It is upon us tomorrow. The playing games start. I'm excited for those. It's a nice little warm-up, even though we've been warming up for weeks now. I feel like Big 12 tournament was a nice little warm-up for us. Ohio State beating the team up north, another nice little warm-up for us. Playing games tomorrow. Kicks off Friday, Saturday, the whole 9 yards. We're getting rolling. 67 games, rather, in 18 days. I'm locked in. I'm ready to roll. I don't want to miss anything. I'm going to get the setup at home, and we're gonna do it live.
What's your setup going to be?
Well, we got the mounted TV, and then we've got another TV, and then I've got the laptop. I've got my old laptop. I've got my iPhone. I've got my work phone that I never use. I might charge it up. And then I asked the roommate if I could borrow his iPad. So we've got screens galore. And I'm going to be somewhere nestled in the couch with my little blanket and my water bottle. I might pick up a 6-pack of Stella, but I will have my water. Stay hydrated.
You got it all figured out.
Yeah. The tournament's being held in Indianapolis.
Yep.
I've spent quite a bit of time in Indianapolis. I don't know about you, but Ohio State, they go there for the Big Ten championship in football every year, and they win it.
Okay, that's where that was going.
I've been there 3 times. Actually, I went to a wedding there once also. It was a beautiful wedding, outdoor, summertime. And the Indy 500, also a good sporting event there. So,
yeah.
Indianapolis, there you go. So I think what we're going to do is do a nice little overview of our brackets.
Yeah.
Pat made your bracket today. Sandra spent 4 hours out in the lobby phone calling her dad in on how to make a bracket. I guess it's tradition. I'm not going to question it. All I'm saying is I filled mine out by myself. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong.
Don't hate.
All I'm saying is I didn't need to phone a friend. So do we want to go? How do we want to do this? We want to just run through it here a little bit? I mean,
sure.
I think it's Gonzaga's tournament to lose. I think that they are obviously in the easiest. What are they in the West? They're in the West.
Yep.
They already beat 2, 3, and 4 this season by double digits. Number 1 in offensive efficiency. They play with great tempo. Got a couple lottery picks on there. I think it's their tournament to lose. As I said, I destroyed the West with my picks. I went a little crazy. I'm just going to keep rolling. I took Mizzou over Oklahoma. I think that Reeves showed me some stuff last week, but I'm not feeling it. UCSB, I took them over Creighton. Creighton's going through some tough times over there. We'll leave it at that. I took Ohio University over Virginia, which might catch a few people off guard. They got a 12-13 matchup there in the round of 32. But I was thinking, I saw Virginia. Well, Virginia got the COVID curse, 1.
Yep.
And then 2, they're not coming until Friday, and they play Saturday. So I don't know if you guys did your research, but yeah, not a lot of time. And I don't know. Ohio, they got a little man by the name of Jason Preston. He's an absolute beast. He's going to be an NBA player. They lost to Illinois by 2. He put up 31, 8, and 6.
His story, he averaged 2 points a game as a high school senior, then went to prep school, and now he's like all conference. It's one of the wildest stories I've heard of.
He really do be balling, though.
Yeah.
So, I went with that. USC, Kansas. I think Oregon. Oregon, I think, should be rated higher. And Iowa. I don't have Iowa going too far, to be honest. But you got to get them past the first round at least. So
yeah,
that's me flying through my West.
Here's my West. So Gonzaga, I did go with Reeves.
You would.
Oklahoma.
You would.
I like his style. I also have a UCSB. Also have Ohio.
Oh man.
USC.
This man's just picking all my picks.
Kansas. I swear we picked these in different rooms. Oregon, Iowa.
Literally everything I picked.
Yeah. Sandra?
At least I went first, so it makes me look good.
Sure.
It's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'd like to preface this since I got absolutely slammed in the opening. Just for the listeners and for those who don't know, which is everybody.
Yes.
My dad and I have been making brackets together for a while. We used to watch March Madness together when I was young, so now we're not in the same states. We like to make March Madness brackets together. So, Jack can hate on that. That's cool. But actually,
I don't hate on it at all.
I
I love
appreciate
it.
you and your dad.
Yeah, no, it's cool. So actually, though, my dad and I do have a very good winning streak. My mom has won twice at her work.
So you just get the whole family involved. It's like,
well, no, we give it to her.
It's
we
not my
make
bracket,
the bracket.
it's our bracket.
We make the bracket and then we give it to her.
Yeah, whatever.
And then she wins. And yeah, so my dad and I have a good winning streak going on. We've been making these for a couple years, so I'm confident.
I'm sure you are.
I'm very
Sounds
confident.
like you are.
Yeah.
Let's hear them.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, we like to pick some upsets. We like to go with other ones. All right. So we got Gonzaga. We got Oklahoma. We do have Creighton.
Oh, I didn't pick Oklahoma, so we didn't have the same. Sorry to cut you off.
It's all good. We have Virginia.
Mm.
We have USC, Kansas, Oregon, and Iowa. So no upsets in this
You just
first.
said you picked some upsets.
No, I said like in the tournament we like to do that, but sometimes,
The UCSB game, I feel like they either win or they lose by 30. So we'll see where that goes.
Wow. Yeah.
All right, should we go to the?
We want to finish out that bracket, or are we just doing the first round?
I think we should finish out the bracket.
All right. Well, then I got.
Okay.
Maybe stop at the final four.
Yeah.
Stop at the final four.
Right before.
Mm-hmm.
So
we'll pick Elite Eight.
The Elite Eight.
And then we'll come back.
So I got Ohio moving on again. So I got OU just rolling. I don't know. Pressing it is. OU versus Gonzaga. OU versus Gonzaga. Gonzaga wins. USC versus Oregon. I have Oregon beating Iowa. I don't think they can hang. And then Oregon versus Gonzaga. That's where I got my Elite Eight in the West.
I got Gonzaga. Also picked Ohio. USC versus Iowa, and then I got Gonzaga versus Iowa.
Wow. I have Gonzaga versus Creighton again. I have Kansas versus Iowa. And then we got, eventually, in the Elite Eight, we got Gonzaga playing Kansas.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
COVID's not stopping Kansas.
No, I think they'll be safe. Sources say they're one of the safest teams, so just try and
play it safe.
So should we go?
That's what I got.
Should we go east now?
Let's go east.
You got it. That lead off there, Pat.
All right. Considering the team at the top there, I got Michigan, LSU. I got an upset here of Georgetown over Colorado. If they let Patrick Ewing into the game, if his credential works. Florida State. I want BYU to win that game over either MSU or UCLA. Texas, was really impressed by them at the Big 12 tournament.
Welcome.
Maryland over UConn, got to go Big 10 there. And then shout out Nate Oates, got Alabama. From there, Michigan over LSU, Florida State over Georgetown, Texas over BYU, Bama over Maryland, and then I got a lot of people are picking Florida State to beat Michigan, but I can't bring myself to do it. Michigan versus Texas.
Stopping the Elite Eight.
Stopping on Elite Eight.
Wow, that's something. All right, well I got the team up north winning one game, and that's it because that's all they deserve. They don't even deserve that, but there's no way the 16 seed beats them. Livers is out. They're garbage. Howard, he's never coached and won a game in the tournament, so I think he gets one and done. LSU's coming out hot after that great game against Bama in the SEC championship, so I got them moving on.
You have LSU beating Michigan?
Yeah.
On brand. Keep going.
Okay. The Buffs. I think the Georgetown thing, that's cute. Patrick Ewing, whatever. Nice little run there. Enjoy the trophy, but you're not getting past the Buffaloes. Florida State, FSU. Struggling as of late, but I think they're going to catch fire here. At least I got my money on it. I don't actually have money on it, but you know how it is. Michigan State. I got Michigan State winning the playing game. I think the playing game tomorrow night, I think that's going to be an elite playing game. Michigan State, UCLA. The guy is a late night game, so I'll be up. I will be watching it, and I think Michigan State beats BYU, and I think they move on. I think they're going to win 2 games. Horns, no doubt. Moving on. I'm just going to tease it. I got them in the Final Four. And UConn over Maryland. I think UConn. It's what they do. They're a tournament team. Maryland, sorry, Big Ten, blah. And Bama. It's gotta be Bama. So, yeah, Bama over UConn, Texas, Florida State versus LSU. I got Florida State winning that, and Texas in the Final Four.
Nice. Mine's actually more similar to Pat's.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to see it.
Yeah, I got Team Up North going next round. Then I have the Bonnies beating LSU.
Oh, wow.
There's a Miami transfer playing there, Jalen Attaway.
There you go.
I appreciate you, but you're not going to win.
Jalen, you're going to win. All right. Then next, I did pick Georgetown as well. I want to see if Patrick Ewing can coach him to the next round.
He's got a great first name given what today is too. So.
Yeah. So we'll celebrate him when he wins. All right. Then I got as a Florida, honorary Gator, if you will. I hate to see it, but I will see Florida State going to the next round. That's kind of a given. They're really good. And then we got BYU over. I think, Michigan State's going to make it to the play-in, but I have Texas. I also have Texas going to the Final Four.
My guy, Kai Jones. What up, brother?
I feel like each year I get exposed to a different conference. So coming from the Big Ten at Ohio State, then SEC at Florida, and now we were just witnessing the Big 12, which is not a conference that I typically see. So I feel like I have a different perspective each year.
Yeah, it helped a lot with picking these games. I didn't know much. I didn't know as much as I do now, given watching all those games up close.
Yeah. At first I had Texas going pretty far, and I'm like, am I just biased because I just saw them play really well?
Maybe I am.
So
I think I might be.
Yeah. So, but I went back. My dad and I went back. Yeah.
Bracket by committee.
Yeah.
Shaka Smart with hair. Unstoppable.
We got UConn over Maryland. UConn might be playing really well right now. So, and then, of course, hate it, but Bama. Got to get them through.
They got to be good at one sport.
There you go. I also have the Team Up North defeating the Bonnies. As much as it goes against my nature, I have them going through. Then I got Florida State over Georgetown, Texas, like I said, over BYU, then Bama going through for Michigan defeating.
Ugh.
Wow, I actually can't believe
you realize, though, they don't have livers, right?
Yes.
All right.
I know that.
I don't know.
They're still good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It. I also hate that both of us just said
seed.
The M word. So
at least I
tore
them down afterwards. I didn't pick them to win.
I got them losing later. Don't worry.
I've got them winning one game because you literally statistically have to
allow
them to win that game.
I don't like them, but I also am a bit of a realist. It was the lesser of two rivals of mine. So I have the Team Up North and Florida State. So I don't want either of them to win, to be honest. And
clearly all right, whatever.
So Team Up North going through. And then I have Texas beating Bama. That'll be a good game. And there you go. We got Team Up North versus Texas.
Nice.
In the East.
South.
You want to slide right into South, Sandra?
Sure.
While you're at it?
Yeah.
Sure. All right, I got Baylor over Hartford. It's kind of a given. I got Wisconsin over North Carolina. Obviously, the ACC's not doing so hot this year, and Wisconsin's had a tougher schedule, even though pretty comparable to the win-loss situation in North Carolina. I think Wisconsin's going to go through. Nova. I got Nova going through. Purdue. They're playing really well. And also Big Ten. So there you go.
Rep it.
Yeah. Tough schedule. I really respect the Big Ten this year, which is cool to say. I got Texas Tech over Utah State. I'm constantly impressed by Texas Tech's defensive efforts, and they're going to be it was cool to watch them.
Defense. Yeah. So is Utah State, for the record.
Yes, true. But I feel like it was
no, you're right.
That one kind of made sense.
Arkansas. So my man Coleman came in and hit 2 clutch free throws that sealed the game.
I know.
Woo-wee.
Then I got Arkansas going over Colgate. It's kind of a given. In the past years, I've seen Arkansas play really well. I know it's a new year, new team, but I think they're going to do pretty well.
Colgate a toothpaste?
Rounds. Yeah.
It is. The Must Bus.
The Must Bus.
Then I got my Gators over Virginia Tech.
Go Gator.
I wish I could have seen more of them play. I'm sad Keontae Johnson's not playing. I think that factors into my next decision in the next round. Then, of course, got my Buckeyes going through. How can you not? They're crushing it. Even if they weren't, I would have them going one round.
You could, but you didn't. So
That's it. All right, then I got in 32, I got Baylor over Wisconsin. I got Nova over Purdue, which I'm excited. That'll be a good game.
That's a heck of a call.
Oh, yeah. They got experience in the tournament. Purdue tends to kind of putter out a little bit in the late season.
Purdue's hot.
Purdue's got some bigs.
Yeah.
I know.
Twin Towers.
I'm aware. Like I said, I like to pick some upsets.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got Arkansas over Tech, and it's gonna be probably maybe not as good of a game as I would want it to be, but I got Ohio State beating Florida. I love my Gators, love my Buckeyes.
You're gonna have to wear one of those like half shirts for that game. Like
watch me
Ohio
crafting.
State,
I'll craft all night just to make that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, sad to say it. I don't want to see any of those teams go, but Ohio State's hot this year for sure. I got Michigan then beating Florida State, Texas over Bama. Baylor.
You just went back to the wrong.
Did I really?
Yeah. We're in South.
Sorry.
Talking about go Gator, and then you go.
Hey
back
man,
to
I'm on the app right now. I gotta
pull it up on the. Oh, you don't have your.
I don't have my
Carry on.
All right. Sorry about that. If you were paying attention, I got Baylor over Nova, Ohio State over Arkansas for Baylor and Ohio State, making it to the Elite Eight.
There you go. Pat.
That's a long one.
South. Baylor. I got Wisconsin over UNC. A little upset here. I got Winthrop over
You would.
Nova.
You would.
I did. I'm a big fan of Chandler Valdrin. He's a D2 transfer, 6'7" point guard. Big South player of the year. But Nova's got some injuries. So Colin Gillespie's is out. I'm butchering his name. I apologize. Justin Moore also battling an ankle sprain there. I got Purdue, Texas Tech. McClung is going to have a big game, in my opinion. Arkansas beating Colgate, even though I love the Patriot League. Shout out Morgan Uber. Florida advancing past Virginia Tech. And then, as much as I would love to knock them out of the tournament early, Ohio State moving on. I got Baylor and Purdue, Texas Tech, Ohio State, and then Baylor versus Ohio State.
There you go. Seems nice. You let the Buckeyes go way longer than I let.
Yep.
Whatever team you cheer for.
I'm trying to win.
Well, smart man.
I don't let my decision making get clouded by rivalries.
I mean, you've got the team up north winning more than one game, which is already a mistake. All right, well, I'll go quick. I got Baylor. I got Wisconsin. I mean, Baylor's easy. I got Wisconsin because the experience, hands down. Villanova's winning one game. Purdue's hot. I got Purdue making it against Baylor in the Sweet 16. Texas Tech, lockdown D, as we just mentioned. Arkansas, give them the win. Colgate, go brush your teeth. Florida win. Ohio State win. Ohio State's the best team to watch in the country, in my opinion. They're fun to watch. They're, not going to blow you out by any means. They might be down by 20 or they might be up by 20, but at the end of the day, we'd rather win by 1 or 2. So we keep it fun. We keep it fresh. That's what we do. Go Bucks. I got the Bucks making it to the Final Four. I'm just going to jump right to it. Bucks to the Final Four. We got Bucks versus Baylor in the Elite Eight. I'm going backwards, I guess. Sweet 16, Texas Tech, Ohio State, and Baylor, Purdue. I think Purdue potentially beat Baylor. I don't know. Baylor did not impress me. I know all season long they were very impressive, but overall in the tournament, they didn't impress me at all. I'm just gonna say it how it is. But they're gonna get past Hartford and Wisconsin, no doubt. So I mean, I guess North Carolina has a chance, but I'm all right. So
Should I just keep it going around the horn? Should I do the first Midwest one?
If you want it, you got it.
Illinois. I got Georgia Tech. Mostly because of the face shield. Tennessee, got Oklahoma State, big Cade Cunningham guy now after seeing him play in person. I think Syracuse is going to win that game over San Diego State. West Virginia I was also impressed with during the tourney. Clemson Rutgers I think is kind of a toss-up. I'm going to go with Clemson. And then I got Houston advancing. Illinois and Oklahoma State. Got them playing, winning both of their games. West Virginia beating Syracuse. I got Houston beating Clemson. And then, again, super impressed with Cade. I got Oklahoma State and West Virginia playing.
There you go. Sandra, do you want to rip it?
All right. I got Illinois, obvious one. Georgia Tech, they're playing well. Also big fan of Coach. I actually have Oregon State upsetting Tennessee. Oregon State won 6 of their last 7 games, so they're playing some of their best basketball right now. And then Tennessee also has John Fulkerson, who's out with a head injury, that's tough. So hate to capitalize on that, but I think that's my pick. Oklahoma State for sure. They were fun to watch. Syracuse, I got them beating San Diego State. I got West Virginia, then Rutgers over Clemson, Houston over Cleveland State, although I love seeing Cleveland State in there. Then I got Illinois over Georgia Tech, Oklahoma State over Oregon State, West Virginia over Syracuse, Houston over Rutgers, to have in the Sweet 16, Illinois beating Oklahoma State, West Virginia beating Houston, for Illinois versus West Virginia in the Elite Eight.
Oh. I think I pretty much have the same thing. I'll run through it quick, I guess. Illinois, easy dub. Georgia Tech, they're sending Sister Jean home packing early. I'm sorry you even had to make the trip, Sister Jean. Wasn't worth your time and the miles on your body. Tennessee, I got them moving on. Oklahoma State, very impressed with Cade Cunningham. Don't think they should be a 4 seed. I think that next round game of Illinois-Oklahoma State, I think that the winner of that game makes it to the Natty. I have Illinois making it to the Final Four. Disclaimer. I know I'm jumping, but it is what it is.
You're jumping all over, man.
I don't even care. I'm grooving. Syracuse, win. I think Syracuse is made to be underdogs. Whenever they're favorited in the tournament, they don't do well. When they play as underdogs, they do well. Syracuse, I got moving on. West Virginia got moving on. Rutgers, I got moving on. First time Rutgers has been in the tournament in 30 years. So let's give them a win, right? Houston, I'm not overly impressed with Houston, but I got them winning first game and the second game, beating Rutgers. Sorry, Rutgers. You get your one win. Then West Virginia, Houston, Illinois, Oklahoma State moves on to Illinois, West Virginia in Elite Eight. And as I alluded to, Illinois going to the championship game. Boom.
So we got our Elite Eight set.
You've got 3 of my Final 4.
Should we take a quick break and then come back and finish the bracket?
Take a quick break.
Let's do it.
We are back after that great musical interlude. Like that? I'm good with it. We're about to finish up here, Final Four. We're going to do our Final Four. We're going to do our champions. We are going to give you a recap. That's about it. We're going to be posting these brackets online. We're going to see who makes it the furthest. I'll be tweeting like crazy the next few days, next 18 days, 67 games, 18 days, March Madness. It's what we do. It's what we live for. Sandra, why don't you kick us off?
All right, so coming out of my Elite Eight into my Final Four, I have Gonzaga beating Kansas for Gonzaga making the Final Four. Mm-hmm. Texas over the team up north. They need to leave and go home.
They made it too far already.
Too far, honestly.
Wow.
Then I got Baylor, unfortunately, defeating my Buckeyes into the Final Four. And then Illinois into the Final Four. So I have Gonzaga, Texas, Baylor, and Illinois in my Final Four. And then for the championship, I have Illinois and Gonzaga. And I have Illinois winning.
Big Ten.
Yeah, Big Ten. Winning it all.
Ayo.
I also have my tiebreaker score. I feel like sometimes those things come into play.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I have the winner scoring 87 and the loser scoring 85. So Illinois 87, Gonzaga 85. Gonzaga typically puts up more than that, but I think it's just going to be a close game. And I think Illinois puts up less typically, less points. They usually score 81, but I think they'll have a couple more in there. It'll be a close game. It'll be good.
There we go.
All right.
So I have Gonzaga beating Iowa. I got Michigan beating Texas, Final Four. Am I biased? Possibly.
That's absurd.
I have Baylor beating Ohio State. Sorry, Jack and Sandra.
I did it too.
And
I did not.
I may also be biased. This may be a recency bias, but I have Oklahoma State beating West Virginia, making it to the Final Four.
There we go. That's something.
I got Gonzaga over Michigan. I'd love to pick the Wolverines.
You should change your pick right now.
Gonzaga's too good.
Change your pick.
The bracket's been saved, so Gonzaga.
You can edit it. I already did. I had to fix something earlier. You can edit it right now.
My browser's lagging a little bit. So then I also have Baylor over Oklahoma State. So I got a Gonzaga-Baylor matchup in the finals. Going with Gonzaga, tiebreaker score 89-85. So pretty close to yours.
Close.
Yeah.
That's the most cookie-cutter bracket I ever heard. All right, I got Gonzaga beating Oregon, Texas beating Florida State, the Buckeyes beating Baylor, and Illinois taking out West Virginia. I like the Illinois-Ohio State Big Ten Championship rematch. I might be biased or I might be right. We'll see. I don't know. I like it. That being said, Buckeyes fell short last time. They fall short again. I'm sorry for those of you Buckeye fans listening. They made it to the Final Four. Get off my back, okay? That's as far as they're making it. If they make it further, Godspeed. I'm all about it. I don't care if I win the bracket. I care about the Buckeyes win the tourney. So Final Four it is. The other side is Gonzaga versus my guys from Texas. Love the burnt orange, but they're going home. We've got Gonzaga, Illinois in the final, just like Sandra. Although I'm right, she's wrong. Gonzaga takes home the championship. Tiebreaker, we won't need it, but if we do need it, 88-82. I think it's a close game, but it comes down to some free throws at the end, and then they pull away. So
very similar tiebreaker scores.
There we go. It is what it is. So those are our brackets. If you followed along, God bless you.
Yeah.
Because I didn't. I was just reading mine and kind of ignoring these two. I don't know. Pat and Sandra both allowed Michigan. Oh, brother.
I can't wait to watch that game with you.
So you're going way too far. Which game?
The LSU-Michigan game.
I mean, sure. I'll watch it with you. If you guys make it past whoever you play in the first round. There we go. They're not making it far. Livers, gone. See ya. Adios.
Agree to disagree, as
I mean,
usual.
he's gone. You can't.
Well, not about that, but about how far Michigan's going to make it.
Tomato.
Sure.
Wrap it up, Pat. I'm sick of this.
So, talked about our KC trip. Gonna miss rooming with you. Hopefully we can do that again soon.
Right.
Did some appreciate his Texas men's basketball.
Wow.
Shout out them. Showed us so much love.
Kai Jones, my guy.
Press box snacks. Looking forward to the next game we work where we can eat some more of those. And then some ushers and our boy Nathan for getting the shot, and the ushers for some ushers understand, some clearly do not, based on that picture. Talked to Morgan Uber. She gave us a lot of great advice. She does the more serious side.
Uber everywhere.
But gave us some good insight and some good tips that we're gonna implement in the near future with some guests, and then just broke down our brackets. It'll be fun to watch the games together and kind of see what happens. But yeah, I'm excited.
This is podcast number 8. I don't care how excited you are. This is a wrap. Follow along on social @StillEligible, at YouTube @StillEligible, on podcasts, wherever you listen to them @StillEligible. Everything is @StillEligible.
Yeah.
That's enough. And we'll talk to you next week. Follow along. Our brackets are going to be posted. I'm going to win. Go Bucs.
Go Blue.